Hey, this is Mark with Van Compass. Today we're going to show you a new product. This is our Opti-Rate full replacement spring pack for the Mercedes Sprinter 2500 and 3500 vans. All right, we're really excited about this spring because it's going to cover your van through the weight range that it can grow to. So if you have a light van, a midweight van, or a really heavy van, one SKU can do everything for you. So it allows us to grow with your suspension. You know, the springs grow as your van grows in spring rate. The Adjustable Rate Spacers adjust this main 3-leaf pack and how quickly it gets engaged from the main spring. So when you install this, you can see on a free weight spring, it's just about to touch. So at ride height, this is just going to barely preload the spring rate. On a heavier van and you add this second spacer in, you have to kind of tap these in and it's fully preloading the spring pack together. So it's going to give you a bump in ride height and a bump in spring rate to really handle the weight the van is carrying. The main advantages of an adjustable spring are you can dial in your ride height to keep a neutral up and down travel. So your shocks are in the neutral position. You know, they're about an 8-inch travel shock, so 4 inches up, 4 inches down. You can adjust your spring height and spring rate now with these springs, so you can obtain that neutral ride height, which is going to put the van at a level stance, sometimes a little bit higher in the rear, which people like. Another advantage is the small bump compliance a new full leaf spring pack can offer. The full replacements pack compared to the conventional pack lets the shackle move a little bit more on these vans, and we notice that gives a small amount of small bump compliance for washboard roads. Being able to adjust your spring rate is going to give you overall better ride quality on and off road, and also allows you to adjust the ride quality to your liking. Some people want to run a heavy van with a light spring rate and let the shocks do more of the damping so they can really have that Cadillac feel. Other people want a more firm ride and you could bump up the spring rate easily. These are super easy to adjust. They just bolt in. You really just lift your van up and push the pucks in place and bolt them in with 2 bolts and your spring rate changes. So it's really easy to play with what you're doing with these springs. So with the APS spacer installed, and we call this APS2, both pieces of delrin are bolted together and we're fully preloading the spring pack. This spring pack, you know, it's more spring than a factory spring can offer, or a factory spring can offer with our additional mini spring pack that we use a lot. So on a really heavyweight van that has a full build, you know, it's a 2500 van approaching 10,000 plus pounds, doing the Opti-Rate spring and having both preload spacers in, it's going to give you more spring rate than factory, better handling, better ride, and more control. So that's a whole other reason why this spring is a great solution compared to maintaining your factory spring. Our goal here was to remove the factory lift block and maintain the height of a factory cargo van that's completely unloaded. So as your weight in the van increases, you can maintain that factory ride height for optimal suspension travel. If you would like to get a lift kit with these springs, we'll be adding back in a lift block and various other components in the front and rear of the van to correct suspension geometry. These springs are made with a military wrap front eyelet. They also feature bonded metal pressed in bushings that can't walk over to the side under extreme articulation. They're dipped in a paint as they're assembled, and then our adjustable preload spacers will come fully preloaded in the springs when they ship to you, and that's when you or your installer can adjust these as needed. So that's all you really need to know about the new Opti-Rate springs. If you want to get more information about these, please contact us at vancompass.com.